Owner-operators that make a lot of money like that tend to get in their own way. I coach a few firms, but one comes to mind. They're so good at what they do. I mean, they pride themselves in being the best at the type of law that they do. And they make so much money each time a case settles that it's easy for them to always fall back into self-employment because they work. It's the work of their hands, and then they make like $10 million at one time or $5 million, or sometimes their lowest one's like $500,000 and it took them like 3 weeks to do it. To the point where we're always going back and saying, hey, remember the systems that you created to bring in new leads, to have your team do this, to do this, to do this, so that way by the time it comes to your desk, you're not doing all of the things that keep overwhelming you. Owner-operators that make a lot of money like that tend to get in their own way because they feel like their work is directly linked to that super, super large check. And frankly, especially when you're an attorney, it is you. But all the other in-between things can stress you out and get your eyes off of the actual case that you're working on, to where sometimes it sabotages the case. And I've seen it. I've seen it with these two gentlemen. I've seen it with these other ladies that I coach that are attorneys, that they're so in the weeds of the small things like the leads, the questions to ask, the qualifications. You can actually have a team to do that. That's why you have law clerks, you have paralegals to draft certain things, so that way when it finally gets to your desk, you're working on the things that you do best to push this case to close and make money. And so it's been a journey with these two gentlemen, and they're getting it, and I love it. The other thing is these two have had some issues with outside family that have caused them to step aside for just a second and the business not fall apart. As attorneys, when you walk away from the business to take care of death in the family or anything like that, that can be devastating for you. So if you're one of those self-employed individuals, whether you're an attorney or you just do something to where your efforts bring in large paychecks, assess your hourly worth and find the small activities or projects that you're doing right now that can be easily done by somebody at a lower hourly cost. So your focus is simply on your genius, where you have a better chance of converting those large payouts because you're only focusing on the things that actually make that needle move.